Let's welcome you. I'm Sue Johnson from the Wake Up and Lives Actors Studio. And that was a surprise. And on behalf of our entire team, I'd like to welcome you to our Healing, Wake Up to Healing Arts, using performance and media for direction, hope, health, and total well-being. You are about to enjoy an evening of 3 staged readings by local playwrights, local African-American playwrights. We have several missions here at Wake Up and Lives Actors Studio, and one of them is to showcase playwrights, especially African-American playwrights who may not have the opportunity to have their works seen otherwise. So tonight, relax and enjoy. I hope everyone it's a 1-page playbill. The entire playbill will be up on our website. I understand there was some difficulty, but it should be wual.org, that you'll be able to see more about who we are, what we do, and you will be able to see the entire playbill with the actors, photos, and bios, and the playwrights, and so forth. We will introduce the playwright who's present later. We also want to introduce Judy Allen, my co-coordinator for this project. You will see James Allen McGilbray on video. We hope this will be up on YouTube, and if you signed in and wrote a legible email, if you like, we will send you information, and once we get the production up on YouTube, if all the video works, then you can see it that way as well. So before I introduce Judy, you will see as you leave, don't rush out, because we hope that there's enough time to do a post Q&A about the plays that you see, if there's time. But on the way out, you will see this sheet. There is a move on to have Caribou placed on a United States stamp. And with enough signatures, petitions, we may be able to do it. They just did it kind of sort of with Maya Angelou on the quarter. But this will be to get Caribou placed on a United States stamp. So please, on the way out, don't rush out.
But you don't want a person who's already signed it to sign it again, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think once.
Yeah, because I signed one.
Okay. And I'm going to take a moment to identify somebody who most of you Clevelanders who are theater folk will recognize the name Terrence Spivey.
Yeah.
Yes. You are known because everybody turns around to look at you. So I want to encourage you to please, fill this out if you will. Nothing is obligated. Okay, and one last thing I have to remember. There's so many things to remember about the quality of work that we are thrilled to help promote through our Wake Up and Lives Actors Studio. We have somebody else here who has a pretty big supporting role with Tom Hanks in an upcoming movie whose title I forgot.
A Man Called Otto.
A Man Called Otto. And it'll be released. And again, if this person who's in this movie and actually has a scene with Tom Hanks that won't end up on the cutting room floor. So when the time comes, both he and I will let you know if indeed you'd like things emailed to you. Okay, having said that, let me introduce my co-coordinator, Judy Allen, who will briefly explain about the project, the Healing Arts Project, what it's all about, so that you'll have a full idea about the plays and the scene that we are presenting this evening as staged readings.
Good evening to everybody. Thank you so much for coming. It's very heartening to see all of your faces with this, our launch effort. The healing arts is about the fact that we as human beings in this year of 2023, each and every one of us all need healing. And this gentleman even reinforced it when he entered. We all need healing, and there are different manifestations of healing. Sue and I collectively came up with 100 different ways that people need to heal. Healing from the loss of a parent who died, healing from a childhood that was horrible, healing from the trauma of divorce. There are many, many manifestations of healing. So that's the idea, the impetus, the genesis behind this project, is to use Sue's expertise and connection with our arts community to form a springboard for getting people to heal. So this is just one manifestation, our being here this evening to see the staged play readings. We also have undertaken interviews with subject matter experts in the area of healing. And we've also undertaken interviews with performing artists, vocalists, musicians, whose work is oriented toward healing. So we hope that this will be an ongoing project. And you will be able indeed to see the podcast on Sue's website, Wake Up and Live for the Arts, my website, excellentzone.com. So that's what this is all about. And we hope that we receive your blessing, that you will spread the word to other people, because we do intend for this to be an ongoing project. So that's what this is all about. Thank you, and God bless you for coming out to provide us with some support.
And with that, we are now going to begin with our first reading, conducted, I'm going to say it, by our burgeoning Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee. A couple, many of you theater folks remember Reuben and Dorothy Silver. You remember Jessica, Tandy, and Hugh Cronin, acting couples. Well, we are thrilled to introduce the wife of the male who are in Recrowning King. And reading directions is our wonderful overall director of this project and the plays is Eric Schmiedel, our director. So he'll be
Recrowning King by T.V. Gale Young. At Rise, it is 8:30 a.m. on a weekday in any small Midwestern town. The small colonial home of Kevin King. The doorbell rings. Kevin grabs a piece of fabric that resembles a sock. He opens the door, then quickly turns around and tries to leave the room. Rosina enters.
Kevin King?
Go away. I don't need help. You got the wrong house.
He puts the fabric on his right hand, but Rosina sees him doing that from the other room. He takes a quick glance at her, and she turns her head. He walks slowly back into the room, holding his hand behind his back.
Okay, you got the right place. But I told him I don't want your people in here anymore.
Except that you spilled a bottle of bleach all over yourself, and your doctor and social worker might have wanted to assign you a permanent live-in or move you into assisted living.
They're crazy. Who doesn't have accidents? And I own this house. They couldn't put anyone in here or make me leave.
Well, I understand you've had several other accidents.
So what? I've had accidents, big deal. What they expect? I'm missing my right hand. They have to send you of all people.
I thought you'd be happy to see an old friend. What's it been, about 16 years?
Yeah, and an alumni outing is coming up. How convenient. So now you can run back and tell everyone, Kevin's not getting along well. Have you heard? Everybody knows everybody, and that's all people do in the city is gossip.
Well, I don't think your status would matter to our classmates. People are just trying to make it. Plus, I don't care to gossip and never have.
What agency sent you? I've worked with a lot of them, and you never popped up.
That's because I work for myself. I'm an independent contractor. I saw that none of the agencies wanted to send their people here, so I volunteered when I saw it was you, Mr. Kevin King, Mr. Homecoming King, most popular musician in the whole class of 2005. You had Mila Adams, Tracy Norris, and me sing background for you at the Shiny Apple. You and I were supposed to perform a duet there, except somebody was fooling around with the system and blew out the amps and mics.
You remember that? Seemed like ages ago, but then again, like yesterday. Well, now I'm a one-handed pianist. There'll never be any duets because there isn't any future for me.
Well, being a one-handed pianist is not the end of the world, and it's still you in that body.
Maybe, but my mother says it's not.
Well, mothers say a lot of things. So I take it you don't plan on going to the alumni picnic?
Are you kidding? Sitting around people 30 pounds heavier, talking about kids and school loans, half of them you won't even recognize. They'll be staring at my hand unless I put on that artificial thing up there.
Oh, you don't know that. So they say you went through 13 home care attendants and 5 agencies?
What can I say? I guess I have a knack for that. I didn't want any of them in here in the first place. And if I had my hand, they'd never have gotten past the front door. I did everything with my right hand. Now I don't even have it.
Look, I'm sure some people need reinforcement, but I have excellent memory. You've told me that quite a few times already, and obviously that's why I'm here.
Well, do me a favor and don't go above and beyond the call of duty. And I'm not interested in your personal life, so don't try to get into mine. All you people are supposed to do is take my temperature, blood pressure, and straighten up a little. But all of you want to come in here and run off at the mouth and be nosy.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware that that was all we did.
Yeah, I can't remember. I ever promised to call you? Did we ever date? Did we ever,
Well, we did. Both did. But just one time.
Really? Sorry, but I didn't remember that.
It's okay. You were a ladies' man. I mean, it wasn't like I was a hot chick or something back then and stayed in your memory. And the braces never helped my image.
Well, don't take this to heart. But you sure look a heck of a lot better now than you did back in school.
Well, thank you. And that's why I considered myself lucky that I even had a shot at a guy like you back then.
Please. I've screwed up big time since high school, and I do mean big time.
Well, I believe it. But so did all of us. They say screwing up is how we learn. So there now. So back to work. Have a seat.
Kevin says, Rosina takes his blood pressure. Yeah,
Well, good.
his temperature.
Shh. Now, the notes say you hardly ever go outside, and that you also take citalopram and bupropion.
That's wrong. I flush that crap down the toilet. I deal with my depression another way.
Well, how's that? Besides with alcohol, it's assumed that you drink excessively.
Hey, did they write that? Let me see that sheet.
He tries to jerk the sheet from Rosina. She's too fast, it turns away. He pursues her, but he cannot catch her. He finally gives up.
I only told you what's in these notes because I know you. But if that's how you're going to act, I won't tell you anything else. And we have a right to know about the clients we're working with.
Well, not that much. That's a breach of privacy. See, I let you people in, and you go away telling my business. How else would the agency know I drink? I don't even drink that much. I just take a shot every now and then when I get stressed or really depressed. I can't believe it. Those people were looking for any little thing to report back. One shot now and then, and these people write I'm an alcoholic. Plus, I only drink the good stuff.
Well, you don't have to explain anything to me. So what else do you do to relax?
You mean to lift my spirits? Well, I don't even know if it's safe to tell you anything. Just don't write nothing down, you hear me? You already think lowly enough about me. But if you want to know how else I relax, well, I'm like a movie buff, except I live inside the movies. You see that projector? Well, my movies reflect as big as that whole wall. I feel like I'm right in there with the actors. I discovered a whole new world doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I do that a couple of times a day. Before long, it's bedtime. One day closer to the grave.
Well, that's not addressing the root of your depression at all.
I already know the root of my depression. This. And where is my hand? Somewhere in Iraq, of all places. Been there since 2010. Hey, is it fertilizing the soil over there? Who knows? Did it get chewed up by wild animals? Who knows? Did the lab over there dispose of it and some kids found it and beat it to a pulp? Who knows? Where is my hand?
Well, thinking like that is not a good way for you to spend your time.
No. Some people watch sports, some people listen to music, and some people like to paint. Nobody's got a right to criticize how I use my time. You ever see a one-handed man driving 80 miles an hour? Chances are, you're not going to find one. I've had to reinvent myself. Since I used to drive a sports car and play in the clubs, all because this is gone. And I got a right to wonder what happened to it. It was mine.
But you don't have to shout. I can hear quite well. And yes, you do have a right to wonder about what happened to your hand. But it's not healthy. And baby, I'm gonna let you in on something. You will never know the answer to that question. Trust me, you will just worry yourself sick.
I'm already sick. At least that's what the VA tells me. Clinically depressed.
Well, you'll just worry yourself sicker. And how often do you go on these shouting tirades? Should I include them in the notes? Do you have any coffee?
It's in the pantry.
You want a cup?
I don't drink it. I keep it for my mother. There's a coffee maker under the sink.
Rosina enters the kitchen, goes under the sink, and pulls out an old-fashioned percolator.
Why, I haven't seen a percolator like this since I was a little girl.
It's one of the few things I have left of my grandmother's. Had an antique coffee grinder too. That disappeared when you people started coming.
Rosina fills the percolator with water and coffee and sets it on the stove. She moves back into the living room.
For your information, we people are called home care attendants or providers, if you please. Well, do you still play and sing at all?
Only got one hand.
So that means you just stopped doing what you love. There are thousands of one-handed piano players, you know. You just do the best you can. Why don't you just try?
Because I have no reason to try. Because I don't have a piano. Look, I'd like for you to just leave.
Ooh, I must have struck a chord. But I'm not leaving. You have to push me out the door like you've done all the rest. And listen, I remember your voice. so beautiful. You sounded like John Legend to me. And I remember you as a kind boy, very handsome. You walked like a king. You were dreamy, non-committed to anything but music. But the girls didn't seem to mind. You knocked us all off our feet. There was just something very regal and royal about you. I remember.
I don't know, I guess. But now I went down and you went up. I mean, you weren't ugly, but it's just that, you know.
Look, I told you what it was. My huge braces were a turn-off for most boys, I know.
You hit the nail right on the head. But really, you didn't look bad, just kidding. But I was still attracted to you. When I heard you sing in the choir, it's like listening to an angel. You still sing?
Every day, and sometimes all day.
Good to know somebody still has the spirit. So, what you do with your life? What, you ever get married?
Yeah, twice. I got married twice.
Who'd you marry?
You didn't know them. One was from Dallas, one was from Baltimore. Two assholes is all I can say about them. They left me with 3 kids to raise and a pin in my left jaw.
Damn. I've done a lot of things, but I never hit a woman. I married Trina Stubbs.
Yeah, I heard. She had rings in all you boys' noses. You look like baby ducklings following her.
Yeah, I bet. Because I would have followed her to hell and back again. So, when she said we could get ahead faster if we joined the service, I said, okay. Boy, was I stupid. I was a maestro. I was just 16, on my way to greatness. Yeah, we hear, people say our chances of going to Iraq was little to none before we joined. We believe what they do, sent my ass to Iraq over there. And she divorced me when I got back. She said, I can't live with a man with one hand. How do you like that? Hey, don't take offense. But we've been talking all this time and I forgot your name.
Rosina.
Yeah, right, Rosina. That was crazy what she said, wasn't it? She pulled me out of my career to go to war, then said she couldn't live with a one-handed man. I still feel that pain every day. She didn't want me no more.
Well, that has to hurt pretty bad. If it makes you feel any better, most people don't want other people for foolish reasons too. My husbands didn't want me because of who I was. I stopped my singing career for both of my marriages, but I still had dreams that I was working on. My husbands would get antsy every time I sang, and they never wanted to hear the songs I wrote. They treated them like they were nothing. And I was going places, winning local awards, getting known. I know now that they just felt threatened by my dreams. They felt insecure. So they gave me hell till I had to divorce them.
Come on. There had to be another reason besides feeling threatened over your dreams. They were crazy. I wouldn't want a woman that didn't have dreams of her own. And I could listen to you sing all day. Really? Hey, you had brothers too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. 2 of them. Both of them are married with children.
Good for them. You gonna be here every week?
So far. Twice a week from 9 to 3, until you run me away like you did with all the rest of them.
It was my health insurance I was using and my prerogative to do so. Those people that they sent, most were busybodies and had no manners. They tried to walk all through my house, and some of them were men.
You didn't want men?
Oh, hell no. They were the worst. always tried to tell me what to do, always wanted to come out of a macho bag on me, I would tell them, I'm the only man in this house, understand? I called the office and told them, don't send them back or somebody's going to get hurt. None of those workers were on my side. They all reported everything that happened right back to the agencies. Black ones too.
Well, that's what we're trained to do. You know what I remember? That goofy thing you used to say. Remember? Hardy, har, har, har. Where'd you get that from?
I don't know. Maybe from a cartoon. And it was something my whole family said, even my mother. Hardy, har, har. God, that was stupid.
Hardy, har, har, har.
Hardy, har, har, har.
Rosina begins straightening up and runs into a long box with a picture of a keyboard on it.
This is a keyboard? So you do have a keyboard. You lied. Why'd you lie about that?
I just leave it there. See, I used to play it off and on, but can't make the song sound full like I used to. And it's hard to sing with just one hand because I always have to concentrate on where I'm placing it. And where am I supposed to play anyway, and for who? Leave it alone. Don't ask me anymore about it.
I will too. You should look up some clubs with open mics. Maybe we can go together sometimes.
Look, I haven't seen you for years, and you come in here acting like you're my wife or something. But don't you make a mistake and get kicked out like all those other sorry-ass workers.
And if I do, it'll be your loss. But I guess you'd rather just pout.
Rosina gets busy straightening up.
I'm thinking about those dreams. We had so many of them, didn't we? What life did to us. I was going to be a composer of great songs.
Well, you still can be. I wanted to own a club to bring in the old and new singers and perform there myself. But I'll get to do all those things. What I'm doing right now is just a stepping stone. I'll make every dream come true.
Nah, Dreams are the devil's handiwork. We keep reaching for them till we come to our senses and realize they were only illusions. The big ones hardly ever come true. Just think, you invest your whole life preparing and sacrificing for dreams. They let you down. Goddamn traitors.
No, you are wrong. Dreams do come true. And they keep us reaching and hopeful. I'm not listening to your negativity. You know what I think? I think you would rather sit here and brood forever instead of leave outside of this house. Feel the fresh wind and the sun climb all over you. And you really should hear some live entertainment. It's so healing.
No, it wouldn't be. That's way too depressing. In my mind, I would be saying my playing and singing would have put those performers to shame.
And I'm sure it would have. But the past is the past. And if you don't compare yourself with others, you will still be able to appreciate good music.
And when the music is over, how will I clap? My damn hand, the hand that fed me, that I wrote with, that took me on stages all over, that got me indoors everywhere I went, it's gone. Don't you understand? It's gone. They sent me back with a stove. It's gone.
Okay, it's gone. And it's not growing back. You lose one hand, then darn it, play with the other. That's all anyone could do, but don't give up.
You can't come into my house talking to me like that. What the hell do you know about the kind of loss I've suffered? I may never get married. Never have the son I want. But you have all your body pieces. You have your children still have great chances of getting married again if you want to.
And you can get married again too. Oh, and just for the record, let me inform you of something else.
She raises her blouse and bra and prosthesis to expose a double mastectomy.
This, life hasn't been all that great for me either. Double mastectomy 5 years ago.
You have breast cancer?
Yes, I did. And I know what it's like to wonder where your body parts are.
Yes, you do. Well, I'm sorry. Guess that makes both of us freaks.
Oh, I will not allow you to label me a freak. I am a human being that life may bend a little but couldn't break. I may not go to my grave with all my pieces, but I will give this less my best shot anyway.
That girl. Keep having that good attitude while all those badass things keep happening to you. Say, how about a drink?
No, my coffee's fine, but I'm about to fix this place up. Looks like you took a year's vacation from cleaning. And don't blame all of that on just having one hand. You could at least put things back that you pulled out.
Kevin pours a drink.
No, I remember after the surgery, they said, Mr. King, the doctor will be in here to talk to you soon. I said to him, am I drugged? Am I partially paralyzed? I can't feel my hand.
You were scared, weren't you?
Oh, hell yeah, I was scared. They had this gigantic pointed bandage from my shoulder all the way down. But right then, the doctor comes in and he says, Mr. King, I'm afraid I have some bad news. And I say, him, I can't feel my hand. I can't feel my hand or move my fingers. He just drops his head and says, Mr. King, we couldn't arrest the gangrene, so we had to amputate your right hand to save your life. I said, you had no right to do that. Damn it, you killed my whole life. I'm nothing without my hand. I felt like dying. She had no idea I was a pianist. I used to wonder if he did it for spite. That was sick thinking on my part, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes, it was.
He just wanted to save my life. I felt kind of bad for going off on him for years after that.
Listen, Kevin, don't beat up on yourself. I wanted to die too, but I didn't want to leave my kids to the mercy of the world. I didn't know the doctors would have to remove both of my breasts. They didn't know for sure either. I asked him over and over, you had to remove both of them? That was sick thinking too. I felt beneath every woman I saw that still had breasts. And then this wonderful, wonderful nurse practitioner said, I heard about you. Now you can stay inside forever, or you can get up and get back in the race. And then she lifts up her jaw and shows me that she had both breasts removed too. She encouraged me to keep going.
And you did. I would clap for you if I could. So you're paying it forward with me, huh? Well, a great big fat W for you, and a great big fat L for me. Here's the truth. I don't shower enough, don't change my underwear enough, and you know what? I don't give a damn. And before the war, I remember I used to buy those things, you know, those underwear with the piece, that cloth that goes between your ass. I forgot what they're called.
They're called thongs.
Yeah. Thongs. I had a few pairs that were made for men. I used to show off for the women, and I was built back then. Iron Man, muscles everywhere. But who cares if I have on dirty drawers now? Don't have a girlfriend or a wife to make me want to clean up.
You know, some things you have to want to do for yourself. But the way you act, you're ruining your chance of attracting a decent woman. You could open up your life to change, you know? Kevin, I've got a good idea. Let's get out of this house.
For what? I have everything I need right here. My food, my entertainment, my drink, my phone.
Well, a little walk out wouldn't hurt. It would be good exercise.
If I want to exercise, I have an exercise bike in my basement. I'll use it if I want to exercise.
Well, that's a different kind of exercise than walking in the park with the birds chirping and the cool wind on your face. Nobody will even see that you're missing a hand. Come on, let's go take that walk. You'll feel so good. You hear me? Come on, let's go take a walk in the park. Well, you can't say I didn't try. You actually seem to enjoy basking in your own misfortunes. I use this job to help a lot of clients. And I have. But if you can't honor life's contract on life's terms, you can't start healing.
What are you talking about? What contract?
Life has a contract. Do you know that? It says that in order to stay in life, we must roll with the punches that it throws us. We can fight back, we can struggle, we can strategize, protest, but as long as we respond by trying to patch ourselves up and keep on going, we're expressing life. But if we do nothing but cry about the cards we're dealt, we're just drifting along, waiting to fade away. And we know we aren't really living. We're just existing. That's what I see you doing right now.
Just existing, huh? Who the hell are you? If I had both my hands, I wouldn't spend 10 minutes with the one without breasts. I'm just being honest.
Trying to hurt me.
I am not. When I see people missing hands and arms and legs and married to people who are normal, I think they had to be together before the person lost their body parts.
Well, that's not true. People fall in love with amputees all the time. They don't even give their condition a second thought. You didn't ask to lose your hand, but you sure cursed yourself for it being gone. You have changed so much from the boy I knew.
From the boy I knew. Well, nobody can see that you don't have breasts, but everybody can see I don't have a hand.
Rosina pushes the box with the keyboard to Kevin.
Hands are just a part of a person. It's not the soul or the brain of that person.
Well, if that's true about hands, then breasts are not that very important at all.
Well, my breasts were priceless to me. And now we're playing that game? Whose amputated parts were more important? Really? I don't believe you. And if hands are so valuable and can do so much, then play this.
She pushes the keyboard to him.
Put it back on the shelf.
I bet if you go online, you'll see plenty of people playing with one hand, missing fingers, you name it. And they're all playing the piano.
I started playing piano at the age of 7 with both hands. All my teachers said I was born to play and sing. It's all I know. It's how I got popular so early and why everybody loved me.
Well, I disagree. It was your uniqueness that made everybody love you, make you so popular. I told you before, you carried yourself like royalty. I wouldn't lie about that.
I just wish it could have been a foot or a leg.
It wasn't. I don't know why, but it wasn't, but except that it was thrown into that contract of life and dished out to you. Life gets to do whatever she decides to do to us. We're only exempt when we're 6 feet under. But if we choose to live and make ourselves the best possible life, in spite of what life does to us, then we will. And sure, life can sting, but she also gives us tinctures now and then. It's all in how we deal with life.
And I deal with life the way I want to deal with life.
All right, I'm leaving it alone. Don't forget, life throws us a lot of joy too. Don't look at me that way. It does. All my children bring me great joy. Helping my clients brings me joy. A song brings me joy.
What about the opposite sex? They bring you joy? How you making out with the fellas? What do they say about breasts you don't have?
Okay. It's not easy. I tell you what first. But I have my joy because it comes from within. One guy said I was a special lady. Wanted to be, but it wasn't for me.
Maybe you should forget.
Yeah. Because I don't have to me. I had to suffer any man comes my way. Really. It's one my soul's not in control of.
You know, I met this girl about 3 years ago. She was drop dead gorgeous. She called me her fine fox. And we were real happy with each other, but of course that only lasted a hot second. We went to dinner. She ran into this couple she knew. They asked to sit with us, and she didn't want to tell them no, so they joined us. Her and her friend, they go into the ladies' room, and both of them come back, staring at my hand. The woman had told my girl that you're better than an amputee. She convinced her that she had low self-esteem, and that's why she was with me. Of course, my girl agreed. Broke off our relationship. And she told me exactly why.
Well, she was a fool. But good thing she didn't stay with you because she didn't deserve you. Ooh, I'd love to give her a piece of my mind. And I bet she didn't find a better person than you. I bet.
Well, who knows? That's when I pumped up the drinking. I do drink more than I should. I can stop though. Just don't have a reason to.
Well, do it for your future. I believe one day you're going to find someone that accepts everything about you.
Yeah, you sound like my mother. Get that keyboard out of my sight.
You are obstinate. You are masochistic. Give me this.
Rosina snatches the covering off his hand.
Hey, give me that back. I said give it back.
No.
She pulls the covering up and hides it behind a book on the shelf.
Stop hiding it. You didn't ask for that.
No, a freaking war did. A white man's war, and I have no idea to this day what I was over there fighting for. Oil? Freedom? Whose freedom? Everywhere you turn in this world, there's a war going on. Is this what we bring boys into this world for? To fight? To die? To come back in pieces? To OD in some alley? Dying for something that benefits the rich, not poor people. So, welcome back, drug addicts, alcoholics. Now go sign up for that half-assed VA program to try to patch yourself back together again. God. There were 17-year-old kids in the service with me. Rosina, they probably got sent to Iraq too. 17. Come back to no civil rights, not even human rights. Racism everywhere. We gotta shout, Black Lives Matter. Why? We've been in this country hundreds of years. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't. You know, sometimes I wish I could just take off in space and keep going. Find another world to live in. Somebody like me, who had nothing to do with causing a war, comes back all fucked up.
Well, either find some kind of joy, even if it's fleeting, or live in hell.
Well, that's what I feel I'm doing right now. Just living in hell. I'm so tired of it. I don't think I'll ever be happy again.
Listen, you will if you want to. Even with all the things that's going on in this mixed up, mangled world of ours, we manage to laugh. We do. We manage to find a reason for having babies, for falling in love, for traveling. We find reasons between the pain. If playing was so healing for you before, then play again. Just play and play and play for your life. Play early in the morning, and in the afternoon, and late at night. Just play, Kevin. I promise you that a smile will come from within.
Zena gets the keyboard and puts it in front of him.
Here, play and sing like you did when you were showing off for us girls. I bet you'll feel better.
One hand, it'd be like forgiving what the war did to me. Why should I give anything the satisfaction of watching me overlook what it destroyed?
Because if you don't, you'll let something as ugly as war have victory over your life. And your life is all you have. Now, you went to Iraq and you fought for this country. And what's done is done. So now fight for Kevin King with all your might. I know you have huge scars. We're all walking with them. But let the music play your scars away. Let it be the biggest bandage you've ever worn.
But now the dream is gone. I went from homecoming king and a piano master to a disabled vet waiting for no good thing to show up. People knew I was a great pianist. To see them whispering about my hand.
That hand, oh that hand! They're whispering out of love and sorrow for you. But who cares that they whisper anyway? Life is a length of a quarter note, Kevin, and then we're gone. We don't have time to be self-conscious. And get off your high horses anyway, Kevin. Your hand is not that dream, and it's not that damn important to other people. They say, it is what it is, and move on. Sorry, but it's not a big deal to me. Some of my clients, some of them come back without any hands, without any legs, no arms, paralyzed from the neck down. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the way you do, but I'm just saying it could have been a whole lot worse. And appreciate what you do have left.
They come back with no arms?
Yes, no arms, but they live on. Some use their toes in place of fingers. They don't want to do that, but what else can they do? It's called living, in spite of. They don't choose to stop living and life gets better for them. Not perfect, but better.
You know, I haven't touched that keyboard in 2 years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure too. You've been sitting in the house feeling sorry for yourself. Damn it, you were the homecoming king. That says it all. You won that title because of something that came from the inside, not outside. There were lots of boys just as good looking and smart and as talented as you. But they didn't have that something from within. You came back with that same something inside. I see it now. But somewhere along leaving and coming back, you dropped your crown. So, prove to me that you're still kingly and regal.
Or you to prove anything too.
Well, you prove it to yourself. Pick up your crown and dust it off. Then put it back on and wear it with pride.
Why do I actually feel like I want to wear a crown? Been numb for years, but you know, I do feel something really. For you to get those kinds of feelings out of me. Like my therapist couldn't do that.
Well, I'm just a girl in your band that discovered among roses there are thorns. The pricks will heal, Kevin. And listen, I cared about you then, and I care about you now. And I knew you didn't mean the things you whispered in my ear when we laid down together that night. But they were nice to hear anyway, and I never forgot them. But I always had a funny feeling that you were dating all three of us girls in the band. Oh, so you were, huh?
That's my secret. Leave it alone. Let me ask you a question. Would you date a man with one hand?
You don't have to ask me about that. But I do only date kings now. Kings don't worry about low-end gossip, and they never give up just because bad things happen to them. And they don't behead themselves, because how else would they wear their crown? I'd have to see that crown before I date any man.
His crown. What's that even mean? Courage? Strength?
Rosina,
You talking about
straight-
my strength?
Well, you'll have to figure that out for yourself. Har, 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 har.
Rosina cleans up noisily, rattling dishes, falling on papers. She hears a soft piano note, then another. And then she hears a soft piano tune, and Kevin sings. Rosina hums along to the short song. Afterwards, she crosses over to him.
Well, that would be okay.
Okay. I like that. Thanks. Hey, maybe I can do that at open mic, huh? You know, I've been thinking. Are you going to that alumni party?
Yeah, I plan to. What?
I was thinking maybe we can go together. And if anyone asks if I still play, I'll just say, yeah, I still play.
Do it because you do. And it's not about how many hands you play with. And if you were the best two-handed pianist, then Dan would be the best one-handed pianist. But just be grateful that you can play that piano at all. Live your life, Kevin. Live your quarter note. And no, you don't have everything the way you want it, but be grateful and appreciate what life has for you now. Because in an instant, it could all be gone. And yes, I really, really, really like to go with you.
Kevin tinkles with the keys a little.
Hey, maybe next time you come, we can rehearse that duet we started 16 years ago.
Well, maybe we can do something new. We've lived, we've learned so much along the way. Why don't we write something new together? A song that can touch somebody's heart. You'll find that no matter what you go through, life is so much better when you reach out and help other people along the way.
Like what you just did for me.
Yeah. Helping others, I help myself. It's some kind of universal law.
Thank you for reminding me that I used to wear a crown. That there's still a king inside me.
Kevin quickly grabs the keyboard and plays vigorously with one hand. Rosina smiles and flops on the sofa and listens. Fade to black. End of play.
Lisa Payne Jones, Peter Lawson Jones. Congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you.
One of us.
Stephen and Jillian's scene. We are in Stephen's home. Stephen and Jillian sit together.
Hey, do you know what you need?
No?
You need to get out of this apartment for a while.
Oh, I don't know. I'm comfortable here.
That's why you need to get out. Yesterday you missed the preview of Katie's play that I invited you to. Everyone was looking for you.
Oh, I'm sure not everyone was looking for me.
Everyone.
Stephen crosses to the kitchen area. As he walks, his feet shuffle and his posture is at the elbow.
You want some coffee? Tea? Juice?
No, thank you, I'm fine. Why are you walking like that?
Huh? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just tired. I haven't been sleeping too well. I'm gonna see the doctor tomorrow. I hate going to the doctor.
Me too. You know, it looks kind of like
What?
nothing.
Baby birds outside of the window begin to chirp. Stephen looks out of the window.
Did you know the birds hatched this morning?
Did they?
Yeah. It's like a life-affirming moment, you know? Promise of new life, a new day, a clean slate. Birds usually lay eggs this time of year? Is there a specific time of the year that birds do lay eggs?
I'm not sure.
Jillian adjusts Stephen's laptop so that she can see the screen.
How's your play coming along? Are you working on it now?
She reads from the screen.
The wind howls fiercely and relentlessly as it batters the structure of the diamond with rain and debris. The wind howls. The rain is pouring. We're in a diamond. There is a flash of lightning, and then, seriously,
Oh. No. Well, I mean, yes. Yeah, this is it's a rough draft. I'm just getting started.
you think you'll actually finish this one?
What do you mean? Of course I'll finish it. I already have the characters outlined. It's a work in progress.
You have about 4 or 5% progress. Stephen, be honest. Are you okay? I mean, really.
I hate it when people ask me that question.
You're not the you used to be. I mean, I've noticed the change in you from just 3 years ago when you stopped taking classes at the university.
It was too stressful.
And I know you hate to do this too, but you need to get a job. Why you quit your job at Sal's, I don't know. Easy work. Paid pretty damn well for what it was.
Also too stressful.
You You were a dishwasher. Okay, look, let me show you where you were.
Julian takes out his smartphone.
No, I don't need you to. I know where I was.
No, you don't. I think you do. I still have a file on my phone, okay, from like 3 years ago. This is a father talking to his adult son who's about to off himself. So the dad is trying to talk him down. It's an amazing piece of writing.
For God's sake, Jill.
Shut up and listen.
I don't have to listen. I wrote it.
She reads from her smartphone.
You admit that you're imperfect. You make mistakes. You say the wrong things sometimes, or the right things in the wrong way. There are a lot of times you try to be helpful, but end up being an annoyance. Sure, you're strange. You're weird. You never quite fit in, but I'm going to tell you the truth. On this great big earth, which holds billions of people in our vast solar system and beyond its borders, throughout the whole of space, trillions of stars and planets and moons, in a vast that challenges and defies comprehension, there is and will be only one you. The uniqueness is staggering, almost incomprehensible. Do you feel the weight of what I'm saying? Do you appreciate power, the awesomeness of its truth? That's the real truth. For all your flaws and disappointments, you should always celebrate yourself because you are one of a kind. This time that you've been given is your time to affect the world positively, to do good, to live, to give love. That's right. And it's beautiful compared to whatever that is.
Maybe I just don't have it anymore.
You're a good writer.
Uh-huh.
You know that, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever go out with that guy you were interested in? What was his name? Adam?
Aaron. Yeah, we went out early last month. I think that was the last time I actually went out. We went to that place called Healthy Drinks, Bar and Market, where they serve drinks made from wheatgrass, organic fruits, and vegetables.
Yeah, and?
And by the end of our outing, I felt like a complete idiot.
Why? What happened?
Turns out he's not gay. Big surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
It's okay. It's not.
It's not okay, and I don't want you to give up. There's someone out there for you and you for him. Promise me you'll try again.
Try again at what exactly?
At love, at life.
I've realized to be with him. Love's not meant for me. As far as life goes, my writing is my life.
You've come to the realization.
Yes.
Honey, in order to come to a realization, you have to start from place out.
What does that mean?
It means I'm saying that love is meant for everyone, and writing shouldn't be your life. It should only be a part of your life.
End of scene.
Deja Foster and Patrick Lappin.
I am Calliope, the ancient Greek muse of art. I am with you always as a source for your creations. I will inspire you to use art in your life. For art is light, and more. Persuade, motivate. It is cathartic, and wash the dust of life from your soul. Let me inspire you to use this art.
Epic stories were always so amazing, teaching me lessons on how to live and giving ideas on which directions to go. I started writing as I learned how. As a child, I was always writing poems and sharing with other kids. So it wasn't surprising when I grew up and I found myself teaching, helping kids write plays, poems, and songs. And it was good. I was using my art to inspire others, and myself as well. Writing was my muse. When I met a man, fell in love, and got married, I wrote not only our vows, but the entire wedding ceremony. I continued to write stories about my family, my street, my thought, and journey. It became my job. Writing did. The writing is rich by any means, but it was fulfilling. Time passed. Married 23 years. A house, a yard, a cat, 2 cars, 2 jobs, family, friends. We had it all. Or so I thought. Or right. What was my friend Amanda said about my life? It's all smoke and mirrors. A classical, magic tune art. Making you believe something is true, it's not. That was the purpose of my magical illusion. Making everyone believe something was true, but it was not. Yes, the perfect couple we were not. It was all smoke and mirrors. It was perfect for the first 8 years. Well, there were small hints that things were not perfect, but I ignored just little lies he would tell me. And if I found it hard to believe, he would say,
Don't you believe me?
Then there'd be the times we had plans to visit with family or friends, and we were just about to leave out the house, and he would say,
We don't really want to be with them.
but we planned this weeks ago. They're expecting us.
No, we're not going.
But
No.
then were the jobs quit. At least he said he quit because,
My boss is an idiot. He does not know what he's doing. I can't work like that.
or
They want me to do things I totally disagree with. They're totally wrong for the company. I can't work like that.
then there were times he told me things and I disagreed with him.
Come on. Do you hear what you're saying? You're not with me. Your husband. Come on, are you with me? We need to be on the same page here. Babe, I said page. You get it? Pages like your writings. You need to be on the same page with me.
He didn't mean it. He was just caught up in the trials and tribulations of everyday life.
Art washes the soul, the dust of every life. Pablo Picasso.
And the times I would not do what he wanted me to do,
Look, you do what I want you to do. You just have to, babe. We're supposed to be in sync as a couple. I know what I'm talking about. Don't you trust me?
he didn't want me to have an opinion of my own.
Oh, for God's sake. Why can't you just agree with me?
Or
Why you
he handled all of our money. But once I noticed online our credit cards were being charged late fees, I asked about it, mentioning I like to look closely at things to see if there were errors, and he said,
You don't need to see the statement, all right? I have it all right here.
why must I have their dues don't have late fees, monitor cards and the accounts and keep track of them?
I monitor everything. All right, don't you worry your pretty little head, okay? You know why? Because you know you can't take our expenses. You always say you're not good at math. You wouldn't know what to do or how to do it.
What are you talking about? I said I don't like math. I took care of myself years before you met. I know how to do things.
Sure, babe. Do things like write all your programs.
Yes, it's his breath.
Write my little brains. He was putting down my writings.
Inform, explain, persuade.
No worry with our bills. I'll take care of it. We'll just do it my way.
He kept telling me things like that. Putting down my writings, making me doubt myself and my voice. I don't know why I doubted. Was it because I wanted his approval and for him to love me? No. I only know that I totally crossed over. My ideas, my beliefs, my wants, my needs, my writings. No, I was still writing.
Right or what turns into light. George.
I can't even remember the first time he screamed at me. There were many times. They all blend together. I do remember because I was on his soul and just couldn't stop screaming. I tried to respond to calm down, but he just couldn't stop screaming. At the top of his lungs, right in my face. He walked away, and as I was walking, he never apologized or mentioned it. And when I did, he looked at me as if I were crazy, because in his mind, it never happened. And since he was acting so normal and so wonderful, I wondered if he'd actually swallow.
let's have a romantic evening out. We'll go to a place that you love, and then we'll in a movie. What do you say?
Then, a couple of days later, he screamed at me again. I can't even remember what it was over. It seemed so minor, but he was totally out of control. I walked away and it stopped. And again, the next day,
Hey, let's go apple picking. We can walk through the corn maze. You love that. The fall is beautiful.
that was the pattern. Screaming over something minor. I didn't put out the trash, or he didn't agree with him, or didn't do what he wanted me to do, did not like someone he didn't like. This went on for years. I don't know why I put up with it. Then he started calling me names. In my face, telling me,
You're ridiculous. You don't know how to do anything. Why can't you just do what I tell you to do? You're not in charge here. I am. You do what I say. Do you understand? Do you hear me? I said, do you hear me? You better obey me if you know what's good for you.
obey. Where did that come from?
You swore in our vows you would love, honor, and obey. So obey.
I never said obey. I wrote our vows. I took obey out.
Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Where did this come from? Couldn't we just talk rationally about things? What is wrong with him? Why is he so angry all the time? Then,
Hey, let's go on an adventure. Hey, camping.
or,
Movie night.
or,
I'm gonna cook tonight, okay?
great. But a month later, or a week later, it would happen again. Screaming so bad I had to leave the house or it wouldn't stop. When I got back home, he was usually asleep or gone. And then it'd be wonderful for a week, a month. But of course, it would happen again. Why did I wonder if it happened? Why I doubted myself. Then one day,
You know something? My job sucks. And the people at my job, I should have your job. I was an English major, you know. I can write. I'm a pretty good writer. I can get kids to write. I can write programs. I'd be better than you. I was writing when I went to grad school. I gave it up to marry you.
he was jealous of my job. My job was great. I was writing pieces and teaching others to write. It was very fulfilling, respected by my bosses, colleagues, and students. But he did not give it to marry me. He had a falling out with his mentor in grad school, and they took his scholarship away. So he dropped out. He then got an internship, but quit because he didn't like it. Then he got a writing job when he got married. He didn't like that either, so he quit. Then he got a job he had now, and seemed to like it. He was writing and publishing. Those were the good years.
Art for all brings joy.
See? I told you I was a good writer. Look at the articles and interviews I've done. I've won awards for my writings. This is much better than your little writings.
But the publisher sold the magazine. He got another job writing,
Right to express.
but he suddenly quit and refused to tell me why. So he decided to.
Start my own communications business.
He got stationery and a phone number. When I asked how the business was going, he yelled,
Just leave me alone, all right? It's none of your business what I do.
"None of my business?" But there was no money coming in from this business. So after a year or so, he decided,
My business isn't working out. We have to move. I got a job in Philly. You have to quit your job. We're moving to Philadelphia.
I thought, quit my secure job that pays our expenses and move?
Yeah, I've stayed here in Cleveland because you wanted to. It's my turn. You have to do this for me. I've had enough of this town. We're moving. I'll find us a place to live, start my new job. You sell the house here, pack up, and come.
But
Did you hear what I said? We're moving. It's my turn. You have to do this. If you don't, that means you don't love me. You don't care about my needs. I supported you all these years. Don't my needs mean anything to you? Don't you care about me?
so I agreed to quit and began packing. He left to start work. The plan was I would sell the house and follow, but a month later, he called to say,
The job isn't working out, all right? You have to get your job back.
"It's too late, they hired someone else. The house is sold."
You know, everything they told me, it was a lie. This job is not what I was told. I can't see it.
My job was gone. We had no income, had no place to live. But miraculously, he got another job in Philly and we moved.
Right.
Since I moved, I continue writing my own stories. But of course, that was no good. The boss was crazy, the job big, he didn't like it. Why hadn't I found a job yet? I'd better find a job because the East Coast is much more expensive. I finally found a part-time job, and as soon as I did, he told me,
I got another job. We're moving back to Cleveland.
we hadn't even been here 2 years. I knew better than ask the questions. Again, he went to start work, and I stayed packed and moved up. I stayed to pack up and move. Back in Cleveland again, he says.
You'd better find a job.
I had a job in Philly. We just moved here.
Well, we're not in Philly, so you better find a job here. We need the money.
But of course, his new job wasn't wonderful, which is why he needed another income. But there was no open jobs in my field.
Let me be your muse, your inspiration.
I was asked if I wanted to start a nonprofit business in art.
Start a nonprofit business? In arts education?
You started a business.
Yeah, and look what happened to that business. There's no way you can start a business if I couldn't.
Well, I'm going to try.
You'll fail.
Art to educate.
My friend and I came up with an idea and applied for a nonprofit status. When we were approved, we applied for a grant, and lo and behold, we got the first grant we applied for.
Lucky.
I had a job. I had income. It wasn't a lot, but it was something. And right away, we were respected and got more work.
Art to remember.
My students loved writing. They wrote about the Constitution, bullying, geometry, and so much more. But after a year, my friend left the business another direction. So he decided to take over her position.
Together we can really make this business take off. I'll be the executive director to handle all administrative matters, and this also includes the banking.
The only problem was that he talked a good game, but didn't really do any work. I wrote and provided programming, and he acted like I was his secretary. What about him handling all the administrative matters? Contracts, funding?
I have it all right here, all right? We don't need calendars and contracts and such.
There was something wrong with him. I couldn't put my finger on it. It was his behavior, his personal hygiene, the way he spoke to clients, the lack of paperwork and follow-through. If I asked any questions or asked him to do something, he blew.
You do it. You take care of it. Why do I have to do everything? Don't you have a brain? Don't you know how to use a phone, a computer, the post office? Why can't you just do what I tell you to do? You're not in charge here, okay? I am. I'm the executive director. You do what I say. Do you understand? Do you hear me?
Yes, I heard. Something was not right. Then I noticed the beer bottles in the garage.
Hey, it's summer. Good time to have a cold brew while mowing the grass.
Then I noticed a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. That is a rare and really expensive whiskey. I asked where it came from. He said something about...
Yeah, a friend who sells booze gave it to me.
What from?
What do you think? I bought it? You know, it's none of your business how I got it or who my friends are. I can have any friends that I want. I can do anything that I want, and you just better shut up about it. You have some nerve, you know? Who are you to question me?
I started crying all the time, and I hated myself. The screaming was awful. One day I was in the car and my head started pounding. I was driving to work and I couldn't breathe. I thought I was having a heart attack. I called him from my cell and told him what was happening. Asked him to come get me, as I didn't think I should be driving, and he said,
You're such a drama queen. You're not having a heart attack. Go work. I'm busy.
I pulled over and called my sister who lives in New Jersey. She told the doctor and called a friend to come get me, or get an Uber, but don't drive. Go to the ER, it's closer, she said, and breathe. Slow, deep breaths to calm. It was an anxiety attack. The first ending. That's when I stopped writing.
Come back.
When I got home, he didn't even ask me how I was feeling. And again, nothing ever happened. I actually thought I was losing my mind. I kept writing too, but started keeping track of these episodes on calendar. Just dates marked D for drunk, or S for screaming, or N, like it never happened.
Remember?
I thought, if I could document, then maybe I would believe it was actually happening. I wrote it down. How many days he screamed, how many days it was never happened. He never hit me, so I didn't think it was abuse.
Remember?
This has been going on for years. I thought about leaving him, but how could I support two households? As he would say, he worked for my company. I dreamed of a time when I'd be packing up the house and he would ask,
So where are we moving to?
and I would say, I'm moving away from you. I kept thinking, I can't divorce. I was raised Catholic. There would be problems in a marriage, but you would have to work things out. That's how I was raised. Must have been crazy. And his behavior was embarrassing. Screaming so loud that neighbors could hear, screaming at neighbors in the middle of the street, telling friends I said bad things about them. Lies.
Look at the calendar.
His sister came to town one night and he started screaming at her. His face was right in her face. He screamed her into the floor. She ran upstairs crying. I talked him down and he said he would apologize to her. I told her he was sorry and wanted to apologize. She wiped her tears and came downstairs. He didn't apologize. Instead, he began screaming uncontrollably at her again. She left. Remember, I wrote it down, what he did to her. He didn't come to bed that night. The next day, I came downstairs to see him on the sofa, sleeping. Vomit covered him on the floor. I cleaned it up, and he put the newspaper over the vomit on the floor. The newspaper soaked in the carpet, staining it. You can still see that stain today. He never thanked me for cleaning it up or even mentioned it. When he woke up, he put his vomit-covered clothes down the laundry chute, getting all the other clothes covered with vomit. I cleaned it up, and he never said anything about it either. I was losing my mind. What was wrong with me? Remember, I wrote it down. When he threatened to kill me, I wonder if I was hearing things right. Did he actually say he was going to kill me?
Write it down.
I put together an emergency list of family and friends who could help me, and I sent it to them all, explaining what he said and telling them how to contact the police if anything happened to me.
Write it down.
And I wrote it down. The car. That was how he was going to do it. We would go out and he would drive drunk. So many times I was in the car afraid for my life, afraid we'd have an accident. He used to drive so close to other cars, our side view mirrors would hit. That was the way I was going to die. A car accident. He was going to kill us both.
Right.
And I wrote it down. It wasn't until he put our finances in jeopardy that I found strength. Looking in the drawer one day, I found hundreds of bills, liens, notes from IRS, state, city banks saying we owed everyone. I wasn't shocked. He was using the business credit card for booze, lottery tickets, and God knows what else. I shut the drawer to think. The next day, I looked in the drawer again and it was all gone. Did I imagine it? I waited till he left the house and went looking. I was determined to find it. I looked everywhere in the house and the garage until I found it all in garbage bags in the crawl space under the porch. So many bags, so many bills and threats. Oh my God, what to do? I was a fool. Then that night he was drunk on the couch and I heard him call me. I went to see what he wanted and he said,
You have to find someone. Just hire someone to kill me.
I told him to go to sleep and I went upstairs.
Look at your writings.
I looked at my writings. Years of stories of what he did to me. calendars marked with D, S, N.
What has your writing given you?
My writings. What has it done for me? My work inspired others to write over the years. But right now, it persuaded me. It motivated me. I canceled all credit cards and froze bank accounts. I packed him a bag and put it outside the front door. I called several friends to come over and help me put him out. It was ugly when he woke. The things he screamed at each of us. It was ugly. Someone called the police, but by the time they arrived, he had left. Eventually he came back and someone talked him into leaving my house to stay with his friend. He thought if I would cool down, he would come home tomorrow, but that is not happening. While that was the last day he ever came into my house, he still had power over me. I really believed he was going to kill me. I didn't know how or when, but I was afraid. I guess I had just been beaten down so far. What did I become? A woman with depression, anxiety, fear, loss of income, all due to a toxic husband. I stopped eating. I lost so much weight the clothes didn't fit me.
Yes, but what positive things have you done? Written.
The strange thing though, through the years of this abuse, I continued to work, and my work was very productive. Not only did my work support us financially, it supported me emotionally. Ossie Davis said, any form of art is a form of power. It has impact. It can affect change. It can not only move us, it makes us move. I guess art gave me power. I had written original pieces for me to perform. Went on tour and performed nationally. Guided students to write original pieces that they performed. Had speaking engagements, talking about writing, interviewed people and put their words into pieces for others to perform. Collaborate with other artists. Did writing workshops in schools for hundreds of children. Wrote about Broadway shows coming to town. Presented at the Kennedy Center, for God's sake.
What did this art do for you?
I guess it got me out of this ugly world and put me one that was beautiful and filled with people who wanted to create beauty. Not people who wanted to lie, hurt me, or hurt others. Not people who wanted to control me or kill me. These people were a miracle. And working with them or for them was amazing. The art we created. And many of them became my friends, my family. I went to the Chandler Gallery, and on the wall it said, art making has the ability to move people along their journey of grief or loss into a more balanced place of healing and hope. In the face of tragedy, the creative process can help recalibrate a mourner's life. I was mourning my life, what I thought I was going to be versus what I became. I needed something to help me move forward.
Keep writing.
I found a therapist who encouraged me to keep writing, journal. I went to a doctor. I talked to a nutritionist. I talked to friends. I made new friends. People wanted to help me. They had all seen his behavior for years and wondered why I stayed. They told me things he had done or said to them. Made me see I wasn't alone in all the things he said to me. A friend introduced me to Reiki and massage therapy. Friends would cook and bring over food to the house, and I got a lawyer. I told his family what had been going on, but they knew. His family helped me get out of debt and offered to help me with anything I needed. His friends offered to help me. My mom and sisters were so relieved after being so worried that I stayed.
Remember?
And I wrote it all down. I started writing personal reflections, thinking maybe if I wrote about what happened to me, I could understand it all. No, not understand it. Believe it happened. Know that I was not crazy. My journal turned into poetry, which turned into this piece. Of course, this is not the whole story. There are children who left out and so much more. I guess you can say writing saved me. Sharing my writings gave credence to what happened. Sharing these writings helped me find a way to heal my broken spirit and my broken heart and move forward through art.
Keep writing.
And I still write today, remembering the little girl I was writing poetry.
A donkey wanted to dance, right in his pants in France. The farmer said, "What are you doing?"
And the donkey said, "I'm not mooing or booing or chewing. I'm dancing, of course, my farmer dear. I'm dancing, and I have nothing to fear. When I dance, I just can't shed a tear." I wrote that when I was 8 years old, and I will
Continue writing.
continue writing. My story is epic. All our stories are epic. Write them down.
End of play.
Deja Foster, Olivia Queener, Patrick Lafferty. And don't run out. I'm going to ask you for about 10 more minutes of your time, if that long. I'm going to ask our director of this project, Eric Schmiedel, to come up, Judy Allen, our coordinator, to come up, because I'd like to, because we're funded by Cuyahoga Arts and Culture, we have partial funding from the Ohio Arts Council, and Lauren Hanskin, the director of the Dunham Museum, donated her facility for us to perform here. So if you have your own events, look into the Dunham. It's a beautiful place to have your event, weddings, like we're doing staged readings. Hopefully we'll be doing some full productions of these pieces next season. So let me ask you, what was your overall reaction to what you saw? Did you see the characters portraying their issues that they have with mental health? And if so, what were some of the issues that you did see from Recrowning King, for instance? What did you see going on there with the one-handed piano player? Anybody care to share? What were his issues? Yes, ma'am.
Well, it seemed to me that he had gotten bitter over the years after he lost his hand. So it was, the solution was right there within him, but it took the young lady to bring out.
Yes, okay. Excellent. The bitterness. What else did you see in him, in Kevin? Yes?
He had some issues of self-worthlessness.
Self what, honey?
Worthlessness.
Worthlessness, yes.
Exactly that.
Did I lose your sister? Is she gone?
For me.
No, behind you. In the room.
She's powdering.
Oh, there she is. Okay. Okay, so those were a couple. What was the element of hope toward the end of the play? Did you see any element of hope that she gave him? Oh, yes, ma'am, again.
I think the element of hope was two-sided, that he could get his life back through a relationship maybe, and also piano playing, which is healing to others.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And in that guy, Stephen, he had some issues. Do you recall? Could you tell what was going on with him in his storyline? The actors, you can join in too.
He was jealous of his wife.
He was jealous. Stephen, he didn't know that was the last play. Writing Was My Muse. Yeah, that playwright could not be with us this evening, Rosalind Royce. Okay. Yeah, but you were right in Writing Was My Muse. That fellow was jealous of his wife. But even a bigger issue, what was that bigger issue that she was dealing with that so many families today And a lot of it comes from resulting of the pandemic. It increased these issues.
You want someone to say depression?
Depression, but what about domestic
Oh, yeah.
abuse?
Yeah.
What about emotional
Yes.
abuse? He never hit her, but what did he do to her self-esteem? Yes, ma'am.
There's a term called gaslighting. That's exactly.
Gaslighting, yes.
Was domestic abuse.
Yeah, okay. Yes, ma'am.
I think it was interesting that since he didn't hit her, it seemed to me like she didn't think she was abused because she wasn't hit.
And she stayed for a long time, putting up with that nonsense. And what I do with women when I work in workshops and so forth, you know, I work with encouraging women, don't stay so long. You know, that nowadays we've got resources. My day, there weren't many resources. There was no Oprah. There was no books, you know, and no TV shows. The View.
No self-help.
No self-help back in the day. So now, yes, women have more options. Where's my director? Oh, Eric Schmieder, come over here and take a special bow because he worked this project in. He's on 15 other projects. And we had to make changes and adjustments and so forth so that he could be with us. What was your experience in working with the actors and the storylines in these plays? What did you hope to accomplish?
Well, you know, what's so wonderful is these were all pieces that really dealt with issues and ideas that Sue felt the whole program felt were important for us to address. And it was great to have wonderfully talented folks that can kind of take it to the next level. It's one thing to read a script on the page, but when you actually have an actor to be able to personify that and give some voice to those emotions and the journey that the character is going on. Olivia had really, I mean, it's a huge task to try and this really kind of like a long monologue that she goes on, that the central character goes on. And we discussed trying to find moments of awareness, moments of discovery, so that character's kind of making these discoveries and understanding what her journey was in the act of telling it. And so that was kind of what was really special about this opportunity, was to kind of share it with an audience. And y'all were great because we got some feedback like in the moment about what was going on with each one of the characters. That was just a joy.
And that's what we hope with the playwrights will see. As I said earlier, their words begin to come alive. And you know, with live theater, as I was saying during rehearsal, if you've done 112 performances, when the last curtain comes down, you still think of ways that you could have portrayed and brought out whatever, you know, was going on with the character and the storyline. So thank you very much, darling. And Judy, would you give our folks just a little more idea of what we hope to do with this ongoing project addressing mental health issues and doing things to help soothe and help heal those issues?
Yes, as I said earlier, there are just tremendous number of manifestations of how we as human beings are traumatized, how we need healing. Some of it goes back to childhood days, getting through K through 12, things that happened, things that were said that never should have been said. But all of us throughout the course of our lives need healing. And it's not just a matter of being poor or being male or female or being African American. Everybody needs healing from something. So our intention with this Healing Arts Project is to, as best as we can, present on a regular basis specific themes of healing, and also with our subject matter experts and with various performing artists, musical artists, etc., present to us as a community ways to heal from the trauma, bringing it forth, giving it an artistic presentation, but also offering that hope of healing from the trauma. So that is indeed the plan that we, want to work through over the next couple of months, etc. So stick with us, go to our websites, please keep in touch. You can let us know how tonight's presentation could have been improved or enhanced. We're very open to your feedback.
And what we're doing is bringing you these mental health and healing arts issues in a non-clinical way to show how the performing arts can help along with professional services, your psychologists, psychiatrists, your social agencies, licensed social workers, all those professionals in the medical field. But art serves a purpose too. So those of you who signed up, and we can read your email, we will send you what we've already recorded on YouTube of this project. For instance, Dr. Charles Modlin, who is well known around town for his work with community service, and particularly African males and minority males, about health. And he's talking about the mental and physical side of issues on this podcast that we haven't got it ready yet, but it'll be coming out. We also have Mariama White to show how music is a healing activity, an arts project. She's singing one of her beautiful songs to soothe the what is this, the savage breast? Yeah. And then we have Miki Sato, who has a beautiful, she's Japanese, a beautiful shinobe flute that she plays. So these are three of the podcasts that we've got developed, just about ready to go, that we hope you will enjoy. Share with your email and social contact list to help somebody else recover or make progress toward recovery. And feel free to use your resources to help yourself and folks, the mental health agencies, the mental health professionals, the artists that make you feel good. Okay, want to thank you once again. I want to thank our actors here, Olivia Cooper, Deja Foster, and Patrick Lafferty, and of course, our darling Eric Schmidt. And of course, Judy Allen, who I could not have done this without this, because it was her idea that generated this activity. So remember, on your way out, if you'd like to make sure that Karamu, and this is one of the former Karamu guys, Terrence Spivey, if you want to see it listed on a stamp, presented on a United States postage stamp, take a minute, just stop by, just sign this if you don't mind signing mailing lists, so that maybe someday we'll see a stamp that has Karamu, the oldest, longest living African American theater. Okay. Thank you again. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. And Cass, we have to strike the seats. Don't go anywhere. Help staff.